Hi, I'm Kenneth.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
We're going to be doing a brief recap of what's been happening with our company since our last update in 2022, as well as a high-level overview of what to look forward from our company going to 2023. So to kick things off, since we last spoke, some things have happened. Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, we'll go in reverse chronological order. We ended last year with a bang at the Central, which is a Web3 conference. At that conference, we met with the Brink and Animoca team, which we were a part of a program with them. And that was great. We met a lot of other game companies working with blockchain technology. And we also are learning what is changing in the industry real time, because that is changing, on a daily basis. I think the beginning of last year, there was a lot of play and earn excitement. And at the conference, we're learning that the people who were at the forefront of that movement are now evolving really, really quickly to emphasize more of the play and de-emphasize the earn, and really just figuring out how blockchain actually brings value to players, which we believe it does. And we're seeing more of the speculators kind of fall out of that industry, which is probably a good thing in the long run, where we can start to really experiment with ways that blockchain actually really strengthens the game instead of distract from it.
Yeah. With regards to strengthening, something that we're strongly looking into is how we can reward existing gamers with collectibles, as opposed to having it be primarily as an initial fundraising mechanism for projects. On the other side of what our company is really about in our core product, ARealm, the Web3 thing is one component. The other component is augmented reality. And we primarily have identified ourselves as an augmented reality gaming studio for the past couple years. A big part of that has been collaborating with Meta as well as Niantic. On the Meta front, one of our colleagues, John Wong, was part of their New York summit, which was primarily to kick off interest in development for Meta's Quest Pro. We're really excited to start developing experiences for that might represent where our mobile game product will head into the future as form factor changes for that. On the front with Niantic, John was also participating with Niantic's recent developer council. Part of the things that we've been doing there in terms of integration has been integrating with their Lightship ARDK and their visual positioning system. Going into next year, we anticipate further integrations with their mapping product. Now, with regards to 2023, the major news from us is that we're kicking off our alpha testing process for external parties. If you're interested in being involved with that and trying out our game and giving us feedback, feel free to DM me or comment. Happy to get you involved. Anything you'd like to mention with regards to our mobile product?
Yeah, I think 2023 is going to be an exciting year for our company and the mobile product. We are looking to integrate a lot more AR experiences in there, and also integrate it in a very user-friendly way. AR is one of these things where it provides a lot of value, but it's still very, very early, hard to use. But there is ways that we can integrate it in small tidbits here and there, where we can kind of get our foot in the door with our players and say, hey, this is primarily a mobile game, but here's the glimpses of the future. And if you join us today, you'll help us build out this world where our real world becomes our fantasy world overlaid on top of it. So we're really excited about using these new hardware and software being developed in the AR space to expand our world and expand our game.
With regards to expanding our game, specifically on the mobile product, something that we will begin exploring this year that we didn't really do last year yet is ways to integrate user-generated content, specifically within our mobile product. And that's going to be super exciting. Another thing that we will be exploring is ways for other AR creators to be able to contribute to our game and be rewarded for doing so. That's something we'll be announcing in some future weeks. On the other front, outside of our mobile game, we're talking about our mobile game a lot just because it's the primary form factor that most people will be able to have access to. Something that they won't have as much access to yet is going to be some of the newer head-mounted displays as well as smart glasses. We're going to be putting a good portion of our time this year into showing some of our users what the future is going to be like, and it's going to be through devices like the Quest Pro, as well as the collaboration between Niantic and Qualcomm with their future hardware. Anything you'd like to add on that before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, the hardware part of this is really exciting, still very early, but it is kind of the gateway into the AR gaming future. We don't see a world where people are going to be, running around outdoors trying to battle their monsters until a really, really comfortable and not awkward pair of glasses comes out that gives people, that AR overlay. But again, we're seeing the beginnings of what is possible through the Quest Pro, through Snapdragon Spaces, and it is getting our team excited because we can see that within just a couple of years, this will definitely get better, obviously, and by the time it is really, really easy to use, we want to have our game in a place where we have that fantasy layer ready for all of our players.
And just so you can conceptualize this before we say our goodbyes, our primary thesis is that we can build experiences that are immersive for smartphones immediately now that can have a broad breadth of users. And this content will be translated over towards smart glasses whenever those devices proliferate at a more mainstream level. Thanks for your time. Goodbye.
All right. See you guys. Happy New Year.